And we're about to bring in a very cute couple, a classic love story of college sweethearts who are now married and started a podcast with the goal of being the married voice of the millennial generation. Welcome, Joy and Justin, the Love Jays! Yay!
Hello.
Welcome. So much love. Thank you for coming.
Of course. Hi. Excuse my legs.
Oh, get cozy.
I like it.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Wow. So, oh my gosh.
You guys met a long time ago.
Yeah.
Tell us a
Dang it.
little bit about that story.
Actually. 2007.
Yes.
Orientation week, I go to give Justin a high five. This is the consolidated story. And he goes to high five me and he goes, ooh, hello. And I told, yes, completely,
Already?
I was
embarrassed.
18.
He was ready to rock.
Just put a little asterisk by that. I was 18 years old. So this was not me now.
His shot from day one.
Yeah, from day one. And I told my friend that I was with at the time, I said, as if he has a chance. And
She was wrong.
I was
Clearly,
completely wrong. Completely wrong. And we've been rocking together ever
Yeah,
since.
so that was almost 9 years ago. So we were together all throughout college. Had a brief breakup after college because, being fully transparent, I wanted to sleep with other people. So I just
Which
said,
I knew.
I was like, we just
knew.
need a break, and we got back together, and here we go.
You got me hope.
I know, you make my heart swell up.
And then you felt the need to create this podcast because you saw that not a lot of millennials were getting married or interested in getting married, or they need advice on marriage.
Combination of both. You know, how it started is when we got back together, Joy actually had a friend who wanted some relationship advice, and Joy gave her opinion on it, and she said, you know what, I think it'd be really good if you spoke with my boyfriend. I was her boyfriend at the time, and just to give a different perspective. So Joy gave her piece, I gave my piece, and then at the end, she was like, you guys should do something with this.
Let's watch a clip of it. Can we run it a little bit, please?
Howdy, ladies. Men don't want to put titles on women because it allows us the freedom to go ahead and act the ass whenever we want.
You need to be honest and say, hey, you know, I'm not looking for a relationship and I just want to be casual. And then at that point, if the woman is genuinely okay with it, which I think most setups like that, some people are okay with it for a time. And I think a lot of women are guilty of thinking things are going to change. If he just sees how great I am, if he sees that I can be the perfect girlfriend, if he sees that I can be the perfect companion, he'll change. He'll make me his girlfriend or whatever.
Nice.
Yes. That's such interesting perspective. I mean, this whole idea of perspective and transparency, I mean, that's a lot of your...
Who comes up with the
entire
content?
platform.
She's more of the idea person, I'll be honest. I'm the operations guy. I have some ideas, but Joy, that is all her. I let her run with it, and then I just come in with
Because
the
women do, men talk.
Yeah. Well, and
Very true.
I find that, I always call Justin our secret weapon because I find that we have these discussions as women.
Of course.
We're always talking about relationships and what we can do to make it better, but we don't. When it's from the male perspective, it's often their defense instead of like, this is the real information, this is how I'm feeling, and this is why. It's like, oh, no. It's because you're this way, so I'm that way, instead of, you know, their actual needs.
But men talk about it too. There's a misconception that only women are talking about relationships. Men have the same conversation, it's just in a different tone.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because a couple of years ago, I talked to a bunch of my guy friends and I talked a lot of my girlfriends because I wanted to see where's the disconnect. We all want the same thing, but we never seem to find it. And the number one answer that I got from everyone was communication. We want communication, but why is it that we can't communicate?
Because we communicate differently, and actually we're so passionate about the 5 love languages. Have you guys heard of that?
Yes, so important. We should read them out loud.
Yeah.
Let us say them out loud today.
What, do you
Ooh, well, there was acts of service,
Yes.
Gifts.
physical touch.
Yes, there was gifts. Quality time,
Quality
because that's
time.
mine.
Time.
And yours is acts of service, I know that.
Affirmation.
Words of affirmation, and that was the 5th one.
That's me all the way.
I love that we said we're passionate and you're the one.
I'm telling you,
Thank
but
you.
that's amazing.
Yes.
It's so important.
It is. We all communicate so differently, and it's so important that we try to meet each other halfway. Because if I try to speak to you in my love language, you're not going. Mine is quality time and his is acts of service,
It's not gonna
And
work.
actually, we've had that issue in this household. He says to me, hey, could you do more of this and more of that? I'm like, but I'm spending my time with you. That
Like,
means
I don't want your
love you.
time. Clean up the house. Clean up your mess.
Do you find that maybe some people speak in a different language than they receive information, or is it the same, or?
Could be a combination of both. I think
Yeah.
there are often times where people are confused and are trying to find that balance. And the problem is communication is literally the most essential component of a relationship. And if the communication is not there, you're going to fall apart. And if you don't know who you are, and it goes back to a personal identity in relationships. A lot of people, specifically the millennial generation, we do so many different things, and we don't really know what our identity is, who we are. So because of that, we may be talking this, but we feel one way, but because we haven't fully figured out who we are as an individual, that we don't know, we project something that's completely incorrect, and so your partner tries to receive, and it's like, well, this isn't working, and people break down and get frustrated.
And have divorces.
Yeah, all the time.
So here's the thing. You're here today, with a marriage skeptic and a recent divorcee.
Divorcee?
Divorcee.